You're sitting at a red light, and a brand new lifted Ford F-250 pulls up next to you. Blacked out rims, chrome everything, LED light bars that could probably be seen from space. And you think to yourself, man, that thing is beautiful. Maybe I should upgrade. Then you get home, check your bank account, and reality hits. You've got $847 to last 2 weeks, you're still paying off the sedan you bought 3 years ago, and somehow you're still convinced that what's missing in your life is a $78,000 truck. Here's the thing. That truck at the red light, the guy driving it is probably in the exact same situation. And statistically speaking, that truck has never hauled anything heavier than groceries and a bruised ego. Welcome to the Pavement Princess trap, and it is destroying people's financial futures faster than almost any other purchase decision you can make. My name is Thomas, and I spend way too much time thinking about why we buy the things we buy and how those decisions shape our entire financial lives. If you're someone who has ever felt the pull toward an expensive vehicle you probably don't need, or you're watching someone you care about make this exact mistake, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Because what we're going to break down today goes way beyond trucks. This is about understanding the psychology of status purchases and how they keep people trapped in a cycle of looking wealthy while actually staying broke. All right. Let's start with what a pavement princess actually is. Look, if you're not familiar with the term, a pavement princess is an expensive truck, usually a full-size or heavy-duty pickup, that never actually does truck things. It never tows, it never hauls, it never goes off-road. It sits in a suburban driveway, takes its owner to an office job, and occasionally picks up some mulch from Home Depot. And here's the thing most people don't realize. This describes the vast majority of pickup trucks on American roads today. According to a study published by the American Transportation Research Institute and consumer data from Edwards Research, approximately 75% of truck owners use their truck for towing once a year or less. Let me say that again. 3 out of 4 people who own trucks capable of towing a small house almost never tow anything. A study from Strategic Vision found that 35% of truck owners never use their truck bed for hauling at all in an entire year, not once. So we have millions of Americans paying premium prices for capability they're not using. And I'm not here to tell you what to buy, but I am here to show you what this decision is actually costing you. Because when you see the math, it's going to make you a little bit sick. Okay, let's do some actual math here. And I want you to really sit with these numbers. Let's say you're looking at a 2024 Ford F-150 XLT. Not even the fancy one, just the mid-tier model. The average transaction price right now is around $58,000. After taxes, fees, and the inevitable dealer add-ons they somehow convince you to take, you're out the door at around $63,000. Now, most people aren't paying cash for this. The average auto loan term has stretched to about 72 months, and current interest rates for auto loans are hovering around 7.1% for new vehicles, according to Bankrate. So you finance $63,000 at 7.1% for 72 months. Your monthly payment? Roughly $1,078 per month. That's almost $1,100 a month for a truck. Just the payment. But wait, we're nowhere close to done. Insurance on a full-size pickup truck averages around $2,400 per year, which is about $200 per month. Gas. Oh man, gas. The F-150 with the standard engine gets about 20 miles per gallon combined if you're lucky. The average American drives around 13,500 miles per year. At current gas prices, averaging about $3.50 per gallon, you're spending roughly $2,362 per year on fuel. That's $197 per month. So let's add this up. Loan payment, $1,078. Insurance, $200. Gas, $197. You're at $1,475 per month just to keep this truck on the road. But here's where it gets really interesting. We haven't even talked about depreciation. That $63,000 truck, According to data from IC Cars, the average pickup truck loses about 20% of its value in the first year alone. That's a $12,600 loss in invisible money. Over 5 years, you're looking at roughly 40% depreciation. Your truck is now worth maybe $38,000. You've essentially burned $25,000 just in depreciation. Now, you might be thinking, okay, Thomas, I get it. Trucks are expensive. But I like trucks. What's the big deal? Here's the big deal. Let's compare this to buying a reasonable, reliable vehicle that actually matches how most people use their cars. Take a Honda Accord or a Toyota Camry. Something boring, I know, but stay with me. A new Camry runs about $28,000 out the door. Same loan terms, 72 months at 7.1%, and your payment drops to around $478 per month. Insurance on a sedan averages around $1,600 per year, so roughly $133 per month. Gas? A Camry gets about 32 miles per gallon combined. Same 13,500 miles per year, same gas prices, you're spending about $1,476 per year on fuel. That's $123 per month. Total monthly cost for the Camry, $734. The difference between the two? $741 per month. $741 every single month. Now let me show you what $741 per month actually means for your financial future. If you took that $741 and invested it in a simple S&P 500 index fund, averaging 10% annual returns, after 10 years, $153,000. After 20 years, $566,000. After 30 years, $1.7 million. Read that again. The difference between driving a Pavement Princess in a reasonable sedan is potentially $1.7 million over a working career. This is not an exaggeration. This is just compound interest doing what compound interest does. You're not buying a truck. You're trading your future millionaire status for a vehicle that will sit in rush hour traffic just like every other car. So if the math is this obvious, why do people keep making this decision? Look, I'm not going to sit here and pretend this is purely about logic. It's not. This is about identity, psychology, and some very clever marketing that has been running for decades. Here's what's actually happening in your brain when you see that truck. First, there's what psychologists call identity signaling. We buy things that we believe communicate who we are or who we want to be. Truck marketing has brilliantly linked their products to masculinity, ruggedness, capability, and American identity. Even if you work a desk job and your biggest adventure is a camping trip twice a year, that truck makes you feel like someone who could handle anything. This isn't a criticism. This is human nature. We all do this with different products. Second, there's social proof and keeping up with appearances. When everyone in your neighborhood, your friend group, or your family drives trucks, it becomes the norm. You don't see it as a luxury, you see it as just what people drive. I read a fascinating statistic from Experian. Pickup trucks now make up about 20% of all new vehicle registrations in the U.S., up from about 13% just 15 years ago. The Pavement Princess isn't a fringe phenomenon, it's becoming the default. And third, and this is important, there's what behavioral economists call optimism bias. When you're at the dealership, you're not thinking about the version of you who will be stressed about payments in 18 months. You're imagining the best-case scenario. I'll probably start towing things. I might get a boat. What if I need to help someone move? You're buying for a fictional future self that doesn't exist.
Now, I know what some of you are thinking, so let me address this directly. But Thomas, I actually need a truck. Okay, do you? Let's break this down honestly. If you're a contractor, a tradesperson, a farmer, or someone whose job literally requires hauling and towing regularly, yes, a truck is a legitimate business tool. This video is not about you. Buy the truck, write it off, use it for its intended purpose. But if your need for a truck is based on, what if I need to move something big someday? I like sitting up high. I go camping twice a year. You never know when you'll need it. I hate to break it to you, that's not a need, that's a justification. Here's a wild idea. You can rent a truck from Home Depot for $19 for the first 75 minutes. A U-Haul pickup is about $20 per day plus mileage. Even if you rented a truck once a month for an entire year, you'd spend maybe $500 to $600 total. Compare that to spending an extra $800, $900 per year on the Pavement Princess, and you start to see how insane the math really is. Another objection I hear, but trucks hold their value. This is partially true. Trucks do depreciate slightly less than some other vehicles. But here's what you're missing. They hold their value relative to their much higher starting price. A truck that cost $63,000 and is now worth $38,000 has still cost you more in depreciation than a sedan that went from $28,000 to $18,000. You don't win by losing $25,000 instead of $10,000 just because the percentage is a little better. Here's what most people don't realize about the Pavement Princess trap. It rarely stops at just the truck. This is what I call the lifestyle creep multiplier. You buy the truck, and suddenly you need accessories. Tonneau cover, $800. Upgraded wheels, $2,500. Leveling kit, $500. Custom exhaust, $1,200. Then you need somewhere to park this massive thing, so maybe you start thinking about a bigger house with a bigger garage. Then the maintenance costs hit. Tires for a full-size truck run $800 to $1,200 for a set. Brake jobs are more expensive. Everything is bigger and more expensive. And psychologically, once you've elevated your vehicle to this level, your standards shift across the board. Your expectations for restaurants, vacations, and other purchases start to drift upward too. One study from the National Bureau of Economic Research found that visible luxury purchases, like expensive cars, were strongly correlated with overall higher spending and lower savings rates. The R isn't just the problem, it's the signal of a broader relationship with money.
All right, so what do you actually do with this information? Step 1, be brutally honest about your actual vehicle usage. Write down every time you actually used truck-specific capabilities over the past year. Towing, hauling, off-roading. If you can count these instances on one hand, you have your answer. Step 2, run your own numbers. Take your current vehicle payment, add insurance, add fuel costs, and calculate your actual monthly transportation expense. Then compare it to what you'd pay with a practical alternative. That difference? That's your opportunity cost number. Step 3, reframe how you think about vehicles. A car is a transportation tool, not a personality. The most wealthy people I know drive boring, practical vehicles. They understand that cars are depreciating assets, and they put their money into things that grow instead. Step 4, if you must have a truck, buy used and buy smart. A 3-year-old truck with 40,000 miles on it will cost 30 to 40% less than new, and modern trucks easily last 200,000 plus miles with basic maintenance. Let someone else take the depreciation hit. Step 5, invest the difference. Whatever you save by making a smarter vehicle choice, set up an automatic transfer to a brokerage account. Don't let that money sit in checking where it'll evaporate. Put it somewhere it can grow. Look, I'm not here to tell you that you can never have nice things, or that enjoying a vehicle is somehow wrong. What I am telling you is that financial freedom requires intentionality. And right now, millions of people are trading their financial futures for a vehicle purchase that impresses strangers in traffic who don't care about them anyway. The Pavement Princess trap is real. It's one of the fastest ways to stay broke while looking successful. And once you see it for what it is, you can't unsee it. Every F-250 you pass that's never seen a dirt road, every pristine truck bed that's never hauled lumber, every massive payment being made by someone who's stressed about their bank account. You don't have to be that person. And honestly, there's nothing more impressive than someone who has their finances together, is building real wealth, and drives whatever gets them from point A to point B reliably. That's the real flex. If this video helped you see your own financial decisions differently, make sure to subscribe, because we break down this kind of stuff every week. Drop a comment below telling me, have you ever fallen into the Pavement Princess trap, or do you know someone who has? I'll see you in the next one.